the Spring MVC flow mainly it will follow request response flow. Okay, client will give the request and server will give the response. Okay, client what request will give? It is HTTP request. After receiving request from client to server, okay, before generating response, what steps it will follow? What hierarchy it will follow? That is Spring MVC flow. Okay, just go through numbers one by one. Here I didn't write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same flow it will follow. First one, whenever client give request, client means any browser. Okay, give request, the request will be stopped at dispatcher servlet. It is a class. Dispatcher servlet is a class. It is a front controller. Stop here. Then DS means dispatcher servlet calls handler mapping HM. Okay, DS call handler mapping to identify which is the controller bean, which our controller class going to handle the request. Okay, which is the controller bean or controller method going to handle request. Then the controller bean method is written that internally may call service layer or DO or whatever. Then finally it will return some data in the form of model on view. You can see here it is MAV, model on view. Model on view is a class. Okay, model on view is a class. In that class, if you have model data means the response data and view name. What is the corresponding page is going to return? Okay, model data and view name. Then model and view return back to DS. Again, DS call view resolver. View resolver will identify the view or view location. Okay, what is the view name and where it is available in our file structure based on the model and view. Okay, that view will be called by the dispatch servlet. That response will be sent back to the client. This is simple 10 steps follow whenever you give every request in a Spring application, Spring MVC. Okay, first we'll see one simple example today. Then we'll discuss this flow will be called or not. Okay, అర్థమైంది ఏమన్నా? సో ఫస్ట్ సింపుల్ ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రిజైన్ చేస్తాం ఈరోజు. ఓకే, ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్లో ఒక సింపుల్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఇస్తున్నాం. బ్రౌజర్ నుంచి ఒక హిట్ ఇస్తే, ఒక రిక్వెస్ట్ ఇస్తే అది రెస్పాన్స్ మనకు వస్తుంది. అది ఎట్లా వస్తుంది? ఇందాక మనం చెప్పిన స్టెప్స్ ఫాలో అవుతుందా లేదా? ఓకేనా? సో ఫస్ట్ ఇఫ్ యు వాంట్ టు జనరేట్ or create simple MVC based application, want to create simple MVC based application, what we need to do? What we need to do to create simple MVC based application? MVC. Okay, so in this simple MVC based application, to create that, we have to follow some steps. This is steps for to create application, but not request response flow. So to create application, what should we follow? First, to create one application, Maven application, or Maven project. Okay, then configure or add Spring MVC dependencies. Configure all these things. Whatever discussed just now in the diagram, configure all these things. What are one by one? DS handler mapping, view resolver. We have to configure all these things. Then main our logic for request. Okay. Then deploy into server. Okay. These steps will follow to create a simple MVC based application. What is the first one? Create a Maven project. So creating Maven project, already we saw that in the Spring application. Okay. In Spring, what we selected? Just see. This is the, here I'm going to select create new project, Maven project. Next. Okay. Just wait some time. It will download something. We downloaded. Previously, what we selected here in Spring Core, Spring JDBC. Maven archetype. So this one we selected. That is for simple desktop based application. Desktop means there is no request response flow like browser request, server, nothing is there. But now this is MVC based application dealing with a server, request, response, browser, all these things. So the structure will be different. Okay, structure will be different. For that, same we have to select another archetype. What is another archetype? Maven archetype -web app. Okay, this we have to select. What is the difference between the previous one, this one? Only structure will be changed. The previous one only SRC means Java required, but here web enough, web app, all these further structure will be required for the to do all of MVC application. I'm selecting this. This make it note down. Maven archetype web app. Okay. So I'm giving here MVC project. Then click on submit. It will create one project. Okay. It is creating one project. Just try to identify what is the difference in the structure wise. SRC main Java is common. Okay. Java 7 we can change later to Java 8. Here SRC main web app. This SRC main web app, it is not available in the Maven archetype Pixart. That is for desktop applications. Okay, in the web app folder only we write our JavaScript files or JSP files. Okay, XML files. All these things will place here. Okay, this is the purpose of Maven archetype web app. I just am deleting this because I already created one simple project. This is the first MVC. Okay, this is first MVC I created. In the same way, this is the structure. SRC main web app. This web app folder there means this is web based applications. Inside web enough, then I created views folder. Inside of views, there are 2 JSP files. Okay, up to here fine. So after creating the project, what we have to do? Next step, add Spring MVC dependencies. What are those Spring MVC dependencies? Go to XML file, pom.xml file, and see what dependency required for Spring MVC. This is Spring Web MVC. This is required to develop web-based applications, to configure dispatcher servlet, handler mapping, all these things. Okay, this Spring JDBC for to connect to database. Okay, the servlets for Java Extra servlet. This is for to render JSP pages, JSP servlet. Okay, this is all for JSP servlet, but not for scripts. Okay, only the difference is enough to develop simple web-based application by using Spring MVC. This remaining are Spring JDBC for database connection. This Java starts, Solid.jstl. This all for JSP purpose. Okay. MySQL dependency already you know. So dependencies are added. What is the next step? Configure. These classes we have to configure. Okay, first one, dispatch solid. How to configure? To configure our custom object, how to do that in a Spring? To register a custom object. Okay, in terms of dispatch solid, this is a way of configuring. Just see what I written here. Okay, to configure dispatch solid, okay, we have to extend this class. Okay, we have to extend this class. Then this is the main method. See here, protector string array get servlet mapping. That means which URLs we have to configure to manage the dispatch servlet. Which URL means in the project we may have multiple. In the project we may have multiple URLs. Okay, all the URLs following that dispatch servlet flow are particular. That's what we have to tell to the dispatch servlet. Okay. Here what I'm telling, every request slash means what? Everything. Every request after slash should be handed over by the dispatcher servlet. That's what I'm telling, URL pattern. If I give here like this, what will happen? Any URL which is coming slash Spring, those only will be handed over by the dispatcher servlet. Okay, if I give simply slash means everything. Okay, what is the purpose of this class configuration dispatcher servlet? It will manage the complete request response flow of that URL pattern mentioned here. Okay, so next one. So here I configured view resolver. What is the purpose of view resolver? See the diagram. So view resolver tells where is the view, what is the view name. Okay, I'm telling views are there in this folder. Go to web views. See here web views. Here views are there. That means JSP files. And what are the suffix for that? JSP files. To dynamically tell suffix, we can use the JSP. Tomorrow, if you change the JSP to timelive or something else, we can simply change here. Okay, it's automatically pick up. So this is the configuration for the view resolver. How to configure? There is a class internal resource view resolver. I told right in the class. Go up. You can see here internal resource view resolver. This is a class to configure the views. This requires prefix and suffix. Prefix tells where is the view. Suffix tells what is the type of the view. Type is here I told HTML, but in the code use the JSP. Okay, this simple configuration for the view resolver. Right. In Spring JDBC, URL, username, password, driver class, all these things we set here. So next one, this we know already. Configuration. Okay, to register a custom beans to Spring iOS container, we can use configuration. Enable MVC. This annotation required for to tell to Spring iOS container. This is a Spring based application, Spring MVC based application. Okay, that is for enable MVC. Component scan already you know. What is component scan? Anyone answer? What is component scan? What is that? Not clear. Correct. So next, if we go for the home controller, Here I register the bins, handler mapping. Handler mapping. What is handler mapping? This is controller class for the to make our class as a controller so that request can be handled here. Okay. Then I use the request mapping method. If I get /home, if I get a request /home, that /home URL will trigger this method. Okay, will trigger this method. How it is? HTTP :/localhost port number anything I'm writing 8080 / project name first MVC / from here. If I give home, this request will be triggered this method. If I give instead of home, if I give process from, it will be triggered this method. Okay. So to bind our HTTP URL, to bind HTTP URL to our method, Java method, we can use request mapping annotation. Who will do this? Here, handler mapping will identify corresponding URL which method going to handle. Then controller bin method will be executed. This method will call a controller bin method. Okay, this will execute. This will return the data in the form of model and view. Model and view we can return. Okay, I will try to write model and view. Model and view. Okay, it returns a model and view. Model, we can tell the model and view where is a view name. Set view. Set view name. Set view name. Okay. Then see. So whatever I told, controller bin method, that logic internally may execute, maybe may call database or something else, whatever. Finally, it returns what? Model and view. MAV, model and view. That model and view I'm returning. That model and view contain what? View name and also can contain the view data also. Okay, for view required dynamic data, then dynamic data also we can send from the model and view. Okay. After submitting this model and view to dispatcher servlet, line number 5 completed. Okay, controller bin method submitted model and view object to the dispatcher servlet. Then dispatcher servlet will call view resolver. Where is view resolver? I configured here the view resolver. This view resolver will take model and view object and it will extract what is the view name. What is the view name? It will extract. How it will extract? Based on a prefix and suffix. Then that will be handed over to the dispatch servlet. Then dispatch servlet again call view. That view will be include the response. Response means what? This example, this view may be returned to the dispatch servlet. Dispatch servlet will include that response. That response will be sent to the browser. Okay. There is a flow will follow. There is a flow will follow in the Spring MVC flow. You see here, from starting, this is a configuration which is common for every request. Okay, whenever I give request, this request from the browser, if I give this request from the browser, what will happen first? So dispatcher servlet will stop this URL or this request. How it will stop? Because for the dispatcher servlet, I configure every URL after /. Okay, this is the project name up to here common. Okay, after this, after / everything whatever there, from here it will stop at a dispatcher servlet. Will try to identify. Based on this, try to identify which is the exactly controller bin method going to execute for this request. If it is found here, okay, /home matcher here. Okay, /home matcher here. If it is matched, this method will be executed. After they execute this method return model on view. Okay, model on view is a class. That's why I created object. Okay, that model on view contain a model data and view name. That view name will be taken care by view resolver. View resolver will call that view location and prefix and suffix. Based on that, identify that where is the view location, and that response will be included by dispatch servlet. The dispatch servlet will send the response to the browser. This way things will happen for every request. Okay, right now application not up, that is why it is still loading. Okay, let's run this application. So if I give request class home, what I am doing, I am returning a one page, home page. Home page contain, try to understand this logic, form action. Form action, input type equal to text, placeholder, enter your apply name, bus fine, submit. By seeing this, what you understood, this is simple HTML text. There is one form in HTML page. Okay, that form response I'm giving back. In that there is one type text field and another field submit button. Okay, that is the response I will get whenever I hit this request. If I hit this request from browser, I will get a response as a page. That page contain one text box, one submit button, send button. Okay, run this application, right click, run as, run on server. Okay, application is running. Now go and hit this URL. Running 1 second. Still launching. Okay. Application started. Our URL is /home. If I give a request /home, whatever I told, I will get response back as a /home binded to this method, this URL match. So this method binded, this method executed. Internally, this method returning one simple model and view object. Model and view contain home is a, I am telling home is a JSP page name, view name. So this will be taken care by the this will be taken care by the dispatch servlet. Again, it will call view resolver. View resolver will identify the where is the view name, so where is the view location, prefix and suffix. Okay, prefix and suffix already I told in the config class. Okay, prefix is webinner folder, views folder, suffix is JSP. Just will this append. How it will append? See, you see the prefix. You see the prefix / on what is the page I written here? Home page. I'm telling this is a view name, home. Home / sorry, not / suffix. What is that? Like this, it will identify the view location. Go to the view location, webinner views home.jsp, webinner views home.jsp. It is available. So it will load this page, this JSP page. This JSP contain one input box, text box, and submit button. See, same response I got or not. Read the text value box. This is the message given here, H1 header. Next, input type text and one submit button. Okay. In that placeholder, enter the employee name. Same thing here in the box name, placeholder. Okay. Now, if I give some name here, what will happen? It will internally, if I give some name here and click on send button, what will happen? The form should be action. Where it will go? It will go process form. It will go process form. That means again it will generate another request. http //localhost 8080 a port number whatever slash first MVC project name. Next, process form. So when I click on the send button, the request will be formed like that. How it will form? Up to here is common. Our HTTP protocol, localhost, a port number, a project name is common. Next, after this, it will append the form action. Form action is process form. Okay. Now this request will be triggered from the browser. If I trigger this request from the browser, which controller will handle? How it will decide? Again, same flow. Again, Spring MVC flow. It is coming process form request. Then first it will hand over by the display servlet. Display servlet call handler mapping to identify exactly method name, which method going to handle, controllable method. Check all these URLs. Anything is matched with the process form? Yes, it is matched. Okay, it is matched, and that method will be executed internally. Okay, that return model and view. Okay, I'm get the model and view. Same functionality right here. Home page is dashboard, model data, model and view dot add attribute, something is there, add update. Okay. Return this model and view. So now this model data contain the error. Okay. Now see that this method will be executed. Okay, in this method, first I'm creating a model view object. I'm setting that view name and whatever employee name I entered here in the browser, whatever data entered here, browser, that value also I'm reading by using request param. What is the purpose of request param? That I will tell. Okay, just to read data from the whatever user entered, the data we are reading using the request param. Okay. For request is the key, then reading the value, that value I am putting into again. Okay, I'm putting into model and view. Okay, so I'm giving some key and setting dashboard. Dashboard as a view name. Now up to here this method completed. Okay, step number 5 completed. Control bin method executed. Process form. Internally it is giving some logic, model and view. Model and view contain model data and view name. View name I given dashboard, and model data is this is a model data I'm given. Okay, up to here is fine. Then it will hand over to the DS again. DS call view resolver. This view will be include the dynamic response. How it will include? It will do the prefix and suffix. Here dashboard is a view name. How it will do prefix and suffix? Simply it will follow prefix. What is the prefix? web-inf / views, then page name, then suffix. Same thing I configured here. Okay, web-inf views, you see the suffix. Based on these two values, it will try to identify where is the view name or view location. Then that view response will be included. That view response will be included. The response will be sent back to the browser. This will be happen whenever same. When I give a hit and send, I'm giving name change to enter. I'm telling employee name welcome. Why welcome came? Welcome I appended in the code. Welcome. Okay. Now go to dashboard. Here, what I'm doing here, just read the text box value. This is the way printed here. H1 required. Then in the paragraph tag, what I'm printing, employee name, the whatever data I dynamically sent. Okay. From the home controller, I'm sending some model data. Sorry, view data. Okay. In the view data, employee name is a key. For that key, I'm giving some dynamic value. What is that? Welcome, whatever name I given in the browser. By using this key, I can read this value in the view. By using this key, I can read this value in the view. In the same JSP page, dashboard of JSP, a given key, employee name, compare this employee name, EMP name, matched. This is matched, then only the value will be printed in the browser. I'm printing employee name, colon, and this is the expression I'm giving. If the key is found, print that value after employee name. This is the value printed. Now, if I give the something else here, this should print employee name, welcome, start tech. Okay, this is dynamically coming. I think this is like simple core Java logic, not much explanation required. Okay, it return the data. Finally, employee name, whatever data we enter in the box. I think now it is more clear how MVC will flow. Flow will happen in the for every request. Okay, same flow will happen for every request from browser. Any doubts here? Even doubts in the past? Next topic. This is very important question. Spring MVC flow. I don't know how many people got understood about this one. This topic. What is this topic? So if it is clear, we'll go for next topic. Spring Hibernate integration. Spring Hibernate integration. So Hibernate type చెప్పాం కదా 2 days almost 3-4 క్లాస్ ఉన్నాయి Hibernate గురించి చూసారా ఏమైనా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేశారా ఒక్కరైనా వాట్ ఇస్ Hibernate What is Hibernate?
It is ORM tool to connect the database.
Okay, so what is the difference between that JDBC and ORM? Why we need to go for Hibernate?
Exception handling problem and results it have to open the connection, have to close the connection, everything in JDBC, but in Hibernate it is providing automatic sessions.
Okay. In Hibernate, what are different components are there? How we connect a database? How we execute some objects, insertion, deletion? Any steps? Remember that what are different configuration data in Hibernate? Steps to clear. First Hibernate example. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేసినాము గుర్తుందా creating project, okay, and adding dependencies. Next one is session factory and session. These are two important things in Hibernate. Okay, only one session factory for database. We can open multiple sessions for the every request. For every DB operation or transaction, we can open one session from session factory. Okay, so these are three things we configured in the Hibernate example. Okay, to configure this, we did all these things: MySQL dialect. Okay, Hibernate. Okay, Hibernate properties. గుర్తుంది ఈ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఏమైనా? డైలెక్ట్, డ్రైవర్ క్లాస్, సో ఎస్క్యూఎల్ ట్రూ. వాట్ ఇస్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ సో ఎస్క్యూఎల్ ట్రూ అండ్ హైబర్నేట్ డైరెక్ట్, HBM2, DDL ఆటో? ఈ ప్రాపర్టీస్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ. ఆ తర్వాత మీ ఇష్టం. వాట్ ఈస్ HBM2, DDL ఆటో? వాట్ ఈస్ సో ఎస్క్యూఎల్ ట్రూ? వై డైలెక్ట్? Okay, just go through once again. Now we are going to see that integration with the Spring and Hibernate. While working with Hibernate, we have some issues. Okay, we have some issues. Those issues we can avoid if you use the Spring with Hibernate integration. Okay, those issues we can resolve here. What are those? While working with ORM framework, so while working with ORM framework, there are much boilerplate code. Boilerplate means every time we have to open session pack one time only. Session, transaction, closing session, closing transactions. Okay, all these things are boilerplate code. Every time we are working with the ORM tool. And ORM support only local transaction. Local means your application depends on only one database, and we are doing the transaction only within database. Example, we are reading that maybe we are doing one transaction, sending money from one account to another account. Both accounts are there in a single database. Okay, my account is there in MySQL, your account also there in MySQL. So it is very simple to do the transaction. But my account is there in a MySQL, your account there in Oracle. That means there are two different session factories are there, two different transactions are there to work with that. Those things are not supported by the Hibernate. Okay, to go with that, we have to go for the some Spring related transactions, global transactions. Local means single database, global means multiple database. Next one is each ORM framework has own exceptions. So that means how many ORM tools are there? Like Hibernate, we have many things. I remember Hibernate, MyBatis, my Eclipse, my link అది ఒకటి ఉంది. ఇట్లా చాలా ఉన్నాయి. Okay, tomorrow we are changing Hibernate to MyBatis. Okay, MyBatis is also one of the ORM framework like Hibernate. Tomorrow I am converting Hibernate to MyBatis. Then all exceptions, okay, that handling logic need to be changed. That is a problem. To avoid that, we can go for the Spring ORM framework.
Sorry, Chenchu, could you please repeat this point?
So we have many ORM tools, ORM frameworks. See here, Eclipse link, okay, SQL object, Hibernate, OpenJPA, MyBatis not mentioned here. MyBatis, these are all are ORM frameworks like Hibernate. Hibernate is one of the ORM framework. So if you use the Hibernate in our code, Hibernate related exception classes are different, and MyBatis exception classes are different. Eclipse link exception classes are different. Okay, tomorrow I am converting Hibernate to Eclipse link. All exception handling logic should be changed, right? That is a problem I am sharing in this third point. Each ORM framework has own exceptions. Tomorrow ORM tool changes, then exception handling logic should be changed. That is a problem. To avoid that, you can go with the Spring ORM framework. Okay, Spring ORM module. Okay, now I am going to tell about Spring Hibernate integration. Previously in Spring JDBC module, Spring JDBC గుర్తుందా చెప్పినా కదా Spring Core తర్వాత. This is one module. So here we discuss about JDBC template. JDBC template. JDBC template is a wrapper class, a template class on top of the JDBC. Okay. Internally, JDBC template, every method follow the JDBC logic only. But it is a template of Spring. So Spring provides JDBC template to execute the database operations. Okay. So even tomorrow, the JDBC logic is changed. That means like database is changed. You know to change the logic here because JDBC template will manage all these things. Like that in Spring over a module. In Spring over a module, there is a class Hibernate template. Hibernate template class internally follow same Hibernate what it does, but it is a one level up. That means internally what code you are writing is no matter for you. Tomorrow if you change the maybe Hibernate to MyEclipse or MyBaris whatever, the Hibernate template is common. Okay, that logic you know to change. This Hibernate template provides some methods to execute database operations by using Hibernate. Okay, in JDBC template, what we see, Spring JDBC, see some methods here. Execute method, update method, query for object, query for map, query for list. All these methods we covered in the JDBC template. Same like here, in the Hibernate template, we have multiple methods. Okay, multiple methods we have. Load method, get method. Okay, load, get, load, all something is there. I will cover that method one by one. So by using these methods, we can store objects, Java objects into database, or we can get data from the database and convert into Java object automatically. Okay. So now to integrate Hibernate with JDBC, so Hibernate with the Spring, what steps we have to follow? We have to follow below steps or below classes to configure Spring Hibernate integration. Okay, this is also important question. Okay, what are the steps to integrate Spring with Hibernate? To integrate Spring with Hibernate, we have to configure these classes. First one is local session factory bin. Local session factory bin internally creates session factory. Okay, to configure local session factory bin, we need all these things. First one is data source object. Data source already we saw that in the Spring JDBC. Mapping resources are another. Sorry, mapping resources I did not tell. That is like XML way of configuration. But annotation classes already told. Array, ID, column, table, entity. Those classes we have to require. And Hibernate properties. What are Hibernate properties? Hibernate show SQL true, dialect class. Okay, that's already told, right? Show SQL true, connection username, password, HBM to DDL auto. These properties also we have to set. Second one is Hibernate template. Whatever just now I tell. Hibernate template for to execute our Java object to database. This is helper class to take care about opening a session, starting transaction, committing transaction, closing session. All these things will be internally do by the Hibernate template. Now tell me someone, to integrate Spring with Hibernate, what steps we have to follow? We have to configure two classes. First one is local session factory bin. It internally create a session factory. Hibernate template. This is helper class to execute some operations in the database. Okay, to configure local session factory bin, we have to do three things. Data source, mapping resources or annotation classes, Hibernate properties. Okay, this is way of Java, sorry, this is way of XML configuration. So this is not required nowadays. So how, just see how to local session factory bin, first one. To configure local session factory bin, what are required for me? First one is data source object. Second one is mapping properties or mapping resources. Third one is Hibernate properties, dialect, SQL true. Next one is Hibernate template. Hibernate template required to configure that session factory required. Okay. Now, in Java-based approach, how to configure or integrate Spring with Hibernate. Okay, that we can see here. So here concept is same. First to configure data source object, then annotation classes, then Hibernate properties. How to see that here? In the second project, Spring Hibernate integration. So data source. This is way of creating data source object. This already you know. This we use multiple places. Then session factory. Session factory what? Local session factory bin class. Whatever I told here, same. Local session factory bin class object created. Then setting the data source. Where is our database connection? Then scanning packages, just like where is the annotation classes and properties. Hibernate properties, dialect, HBN DDL, SQL. What is this three purpose? Go and see the Hibernate videos. That is very important. Okay, setting the properties. See one by one data source we set or not. First one is data source setting here. Line number 36. Next one is annotation classes. This is a package I'm selling here. com.app entity. Here annotation class is there. This is the annotation class. What is the meaning of that? This class represent what? This class is representing. This is the Java class. Corresponding table name is student. This is the variable. Corresponding variable column name is student ID. This is the variable name. Corresponding column name is yes email. Where is those? This is the database name. Internally, it is a table name. Here SID, SEmail, SF name, SL name, DOB. All are column names. To map our variable into column name, we can use a column annotation. To make our class, our variable as primary key, we can use ID. ID means primary key. Okay. Our variable name is email, but corresponding column name is yes email. Yes email. To map that, we can use a column annotation. This variable name map to yes email column name in database. In database, what is table name? STD. These are annotated classes. Here in the project, only one I have. If you go for real time, there may be 100 classes. For each table, separate annotation class is there, like these annotations. Okay. Data source configured, annotation class configured. Next, Hibernate properties. Hibernate properties. These are Hibernate properties I'm setting here. Hibernate dialect, Hibernate HBM to DDL, Hibernate SQL. All these things I'm setting into local session factory bin. Okay. First one is data source. Second one is annotation classes. Third one is Hibernate properties. Now ready with the local session factory bin. Next one is Hibernate template. This is the Hibernate template configuration. Hibernate template, new Hibernate template, just to provide the session factory object. Hibernate template internally depends with what? Session factory. I'm calling session factory object. Now this line number 56 is required when just only for to do some transactional on the database side. Transactional means what? Just to read the data, update data purpose, we can use the check write operation false. Okay, these are Spring and Hibernate integration configuration required. These three. Okay, next one is view resolver. This is for what? To handle request response flow from browser. Spring MVC purpose, this one. Okay, view resolver, it's already discussed. Okay, fine. So this we'll see some examples. Hibernate template methods. Okay, these are some methods. Delete object or to delete some data from the Java code by using Hibernate. This is a method. Evict also to remove only particular object, to remove a particular object from session. Okay, and some more examples we see. Get method to read the data, to return persistence instance with a given entity class. Okay, to return only one object based on ID. Next one is load, also same. Load all to get the all data, complete data. Select star. Okay, persist not required. Save method to save the data. These are all same as the Hibernate. In Hibernate also we have same save method, persist method, update method, all the things. Okay, now see the example. Whenever my requirement is, let's run this application. So first I need to show complete data in the browser. Whatever data there in this table, 5 rows I want to show into the browser by using Spring Hibernate. By using Spring Hibernate, that is very important. That by using Spring Hibernate means now you have to think about all these classes configuration: local system factory bean, Hibernate template. Okay, just try to understand. Try to understand. Okay, so a new page here. So in this is the browser. Okay, in this browser I want to show the 5 rows data. I want to show 5 rows data from the database. The data there in the database, right? Student table. Now I want to get complete data to browser by using Spring Hibernate integration with a request response flow. Spring MVC and Spring Hibernate integration. All these things are required. Now tell me what is the configuration I have to do in the project. First step, create a project. Okay, Maven project. Next, dependencies. What are dependencies? Spring MVC dependency, Spring ORM dependency. These two are required. We are using JSP also to show the data in the browser. So JSP related dependencies. Okay. Next one is I need to configure Spring Hibernate integration. For this, what required? Local session factory bean. For this, I need data source plus annotation classes plus Hibernate template. Not Hibernate template. Yeah. data source, annotation classes, and the third one, properties, sorry, Hibernate properties. These three are required to configure local session factory bin. Next one is Hibernate. Hibernate template. Okay, up to here fine. Now for MVC flow, what required? First one, dispatcher servlet, view resolver, handler mapping. All these things are required. Okay. Now tell me, we'll create one simple project. Okay, a project is created here. This is MVC based and also Hibernate based. So I need to use the web Spring for Maven Kickstart -web while creating the project. Next, go to the POM. So by default, it will come with 1.7, change to 1.8. Simply change 1.8 and right click Maven update. Then Spring Web MVC for MVC base, Spring Forum for the Spring Hybrid integration. Internally Hybrid, sorry, Spring Forum, use the Hibernate core, that version I provided. Remaining all are common for the SP servlet. Okay. These are dependencies required. Then configuration wise, first one is Spring Hybrid integration. I create a configuration class, component scan I'm telling, com.app package. Okay, that already you know. Data source for the to create session factory and local session factory bin. Then Hibernate template you configure up to second step completed. Then view resolver, dispatcher servlet here. Okay, same whatever we saw, same class. Just to here mention the slash complete all requests, every request will hand over here. Then controller, based on the URL, it will map here corresponding controller. Okay. Once I load the page, page means what? Here complete student data. Student data loaded. Okay. Student data maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows I have. Okay. This last one is delete link. Delete link I'll provide here. If you click on delete link, it will delete the data. Okay. The two operations I'm telling now. Just first request, I have to get the data. I have to go to database. Okay. I have to go database and get the all data and show it into browser. The corresponding URL is http://localhost // maybe the project name anything Spring app / get all. That means what? After slash whatever URL is there, that should be matched with any one of this method, controllable method. If it is matched, that method will be executed. That method internally may call whatever I'm telling the get all, return here one page, show all page. I can return view name here directly, show all. Then I want to go to database. How to go? Here check in the service layer. In the service layer, I'm calling one method, get all student data. Here there is one class Hibernate template. Whatever I told, template class. This Hibernate template internally works on a Hibernate. There is one method load all. I told whatever here. Load all method to return the all objects data of this class type. I want to load the all data. Load all data. Convert into student object. All means how many? Multiple objects. Multiple objects means storing into list. One object means one student. Okay. Hibernate template dot. There is one method load all. I'm telling load all means get the complete data from this table. Which table? This is the entity class. Entity class I mentioned table name student std. It will go for student table and load the data by using Hibernate. In that student data have these 5 rows. These 5 rows will be written back to the service layer. In the service layer, just return to the controller. The controller putting into model and view. See here model and view dot add object student data whatever written from the database. With this key, this value I can access, this list value, list of student value, I can access in the JSP page. What is the JSP page? This is the name, show all. Where it is available? I configure in the app config. Where it is available? See the view resolver. Where is the view name? WebInf views JSP. Go to WebInf. Where is the WebInf? SRC main web app WebInf. Views. Here see the show all. In this page, just I am printing into one table format. To print table format of any data, we can use table tag. Already we know that HTML. Table H2 list of users. TR this is header student ID email and this is the data. Data I am printing. How I am printing? This is expression language of JSP. I am giving key to the JSP. This is student data. Okay. Student data, this is a key matched. Then it will fetch the list of students. That list of students I am going to iterator by using for each. This for each is JSP specific for each. JSP specific for each. I am telling in the student data give each student. Each student I am getting the ID, email, first name, last name, date of birth, last values, delete link. Delete link also. Just I am printing into C colon out means print the data in the browser. C colon for each, C colon out. These two tags we are newly using here. Okay. C colon for each for to go iterate the elements from the list. Okay. From the list, student data is list. From that, give me each student. Each student print the all the properties. Student ID, email, all these things. How we printing? Giving the C colon out. We can use H1 also. C colon out also possible. Okay. Now see this. I'm running application. Okay. Now what is the URL to get the complete data? Go to controller, employee controller, see here, get all. This URL just happened here. That means this request will be managed by dispatch servlet. Whenever you hit this request, it will go to first dispatch servlet. Dispatch servlet will identify by using handler mapping which method going to execute. That method will be executed and return the data in the form of model and view. Okay, model and view is a class that contains a view name and model data. So view name I'm telling here. So all model data is all data, student data. Okay, that data will hand over to the view resolver. View resolver will call or will identify the view location by using prefix and suffix, and that view will be loaded. The response will be sent back to the client. This is the flow will happen for the request. Okay, I got a data. List of users, student ID, email, first name, last name, date of birth, and last one is delete. I'm giving one links here. This are last column is link, hyperlink. Okay, you can click that or you can delete that. If you click on this link, what will happen? See in the corner says here, let's observe here. If I click on this, what request will be going? Just observe this slide here, the highlighted box. So what is the URL sending? If I click on this, the request will go to that URL. It will go to the localhost 22, delete SID, ID value 5. So if I click on the last row, it will go for ID value 5. If you click on the last but one, it will go SID 4, SID 3, SID 2. So based on a row, if I want to delete that particular row, I have to click that delete button or delete link. Okay. If I click on link, the corresponding URL will be triggered. Okay, / delete SID STD question mark SID equal to 5. Okay, SID equal to 5, it will go to the server. Then see the controller where it is delete STD. This URL will be hitted. This will internally make call layers, service layer. This is service layer, EMP service. From service layer, I'm calling DAO layer. In the DAO, I'm doing something. First, get the object by using ID, complete data. That data, I'm doing the delete, session dot delete. Okay, we can use Hibernate template. Just for this example, I use the session factory. That session dot delete student. Whatever I get a by using ID. Just go to one by one line. This is important. In the delete student method, first based on ID, I'm first getting the data. First getting the data from the database for student ID. Okay, I got one ABC start tag. This data I got. Then I'm opening that session by using session factory. Hibernate template dot get session factory, get open session. Then open transaction and doing the delete. Session factory, sorry, session dot delete. Then it is deleted. Now I'm returning back student is deleted. I'm giving response as a student is deleted message. Okay. Same thing I'm sending to the controller. In the controller, I'm telling status student deleted. Okay. Now if I click on this URL or link, last one I'm clicking, see the output. Student is deleted. Last one is student ID. In the browser also you can see URL delete STD SID equal to 5. Okay. Go to browser, sorry, go to the database and check. Last one is deleted. Okay. Last one is deleted. Now I want to delete fourth one or first one. Just click on this. What is the flow internally happen? It will trigger one delete STD URL / delete STD. Okay, that will go dispatch alert. Again, handler mapping, view resolver. Okay, handler mapping return the data in the model and view. Again, return a view resolver. View resolver written right here. What is the view name? This is the delete view name. Okay, JSP page name delete. In the delete page, what it is there? Only status printing message. Whatever data is deleted or not. Okay, just click on the first one and see the output. Student is deleted. This page I'm returning from controller. In the controller, I given delete. Okay, prefix is whereby enough use, suffix is JSP. Okay, this is about to read data, to update, to delete data. Okay, so this I'm giving one task. Try to do whenever you have a time. Here I fetch all data. I fetch the all data. Okay, this code already there. And to delete data, this code also there. Now I want to update. Update means in the place of Suman, I have to update Kumar. I want to update something. That first task is the update data. Okay, specific data. And second task is I want to get only one row. I want to get only one row by using ID. So just create one text box, enter student ID, enter student ID. If I enter value 1, only display the first student data. First student data. Okay, these two tasks try to do whenever you have a time by using same approach. I'll send this code to you today. Okay, you can add in the same project or you can create a new project. First task is to update data. To update data. I can update one column or multiple columns are fine. Anything is fine. Okay, I can update one column or multiple columns. Finally, the status that updated data should be saved in a database. Second one is to get specific row. Okay, specific row retrieval. Okay, third one is insert a new row. Okay, create one form. Okay, form with some fields, first name, last name, email ID, date of birth, then finally submit button. If you click on submit button, you should go database with this data and save it into database. Okay, this is third task. Just try to do by tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we'll start Spring Boot. In Spring Boot only I'll cover Spring JPA and Spring REST.